1967 didn't just play on the radio, it rewired the room. Choir heat met street grit, and soul learned to roar and whisper. Stay to the end, because our number one turned a single word into a worldwide demand. Welcome to R&B Vinyl, your escape into hidden gems, brutal twists, and unforgettable stories they don't want you to find. If a great countdown makes your day, stick with me to number one and tell me your favorite pick in the comments. Kicking off at number 15, Soul Finger, The Bar-Kays, 1967. Picture a group of Memphis teenagers walking into Stax with more swagger than fear, and coming out with a horn riff that sounds like a parade just broke through the studio doors. This jam is pure party DNA, tight snare pops, bass that bounces in place, trumpets and saxes shouting in bursts. The famous crowd chants feel like your friends are already in the room yelling along. It's unpolished in the best way, like joy caught on tape before anyone could smooth it down. Soul Finger didn't try to be deep, it tried to be alive. That is why it works. It turns a normal day into a block party in under 3 minutes. DJs love it because it makes people move without asking permission. Bands love it because those stop-start hits are fun to play loud. And listeners keep it close because it's a reminder that soul can laugh, grin, and still hit hard. Sliding in at 14, Hip Hug Her, Booker T and the MGs, 1967. This is the Stax House Band doing what they did for countless stars, locking into a pocket so tight you could balance a coin on it. Only this time, the spotlight is theirs. Hammond organ stabs ride on a drum kit that never shows off, because it doesn't have to. Steve Cropper's guitar answers with clipped phrases that feel like raised eyebrows. Donald Duck Dunn's bass walks with small, confident steps. Nothing here is wasted. Hip Hug Her is the kind of track music supervisors love for chase scenes and too slick to get caught moments. It endures because it's a masterclass in restraint. No solo tries to steal the show. The band is the star. That lesson, serve the song, never expires. At 13, A Velvet Plea, Take Me in Your Arms and Love Me, Gladys Knight and the Pips, 1967.
There's a mist of ecstasy that's flowing over.
Here comes the grown voice in a room full of teenagers. Gladys doesn't float above the band. She stands in the center and pulls the camera in. The arrangement is classic late 60s soul. Satin strings, a steady rhythm section, and the Pips giving support with steps that feel like gentle pushes. But the power is in her tone. She sounds like someone done with half-truths and light talk. She is asking for the real thing, right now, clearly. You can hear both toughness and tenderness at once, which is why the song lands like a guided arrow. It's not just romance, it's standards. The track didn't get all the flowers it deserved at the time, but it stuck around because honesty ages well. Singers mine it for phrasing. Listeners return for the ache. When the last note fades, it leaves a warm echo, proof that soul can stand tall without raising its voice.
I'll be true to you. Do what you want me to.
Taking the 12th spot, You're My Everything, The Temptations, 1967. This is Motown in full glow, stitching romance to craft. Layered harmonies slip over a melody that glides like satin. The tambourine whispers. The strings draw soft halos around the voices. Leads trade places like dancers who already know the steps the other will take. You hear teamwork as a feeling. It's the kind of mid-tempo that makes couples sway without thinking. And it's the kind of writing that sounds simple until you try to do it yourself. Then you realize how precise every choice is. The charm isn't in big moves. It's in the way the group controls air and space, letting the words breathe. That's why it lasts. Even when fashion changes, grace has a home. You're My Everything remains a go-to for people who want love without sugar overload. It is pure devotion in a tailored suit. Cracking into 11, Tell Mama, Etta James, 1967. Turn the speakers up. Etta walks in like the door owed her money. The band sets a Muscle Shoals stomp, snare tight, guitars biting, bass heavy on the front foot, and she slices straight through the middle with a voice that sounds like a truth you can't ignore. This is not a whisper in the corner kind of song. It's a call from the front porch that carries down the block. The magic is in the push and pull. The rhythm is locked, but Etta sings like the timing is hers to bend. She can growl, then glide, then hit a note so clean it feels brand new. The message is simple, speak up and be real, but the delivery is fireworks. You move, you nod, you believe her. The flip side of this single became a classic too, which tells you how strong these sessions were. Tell Mama endures because it turns pain into power, then invites you to dance with it. Now the street gets louder and the horns punch harder. Breaking into the top 10 at 10, Funky Broadway, Wilson Pickett, 1967.
Every time I go here,
the groove doesn't walk, it struts with shoulders wide. Pickett took a street-born idea and made it sound like the whole city had a backbeat. Horns jab like quick punches, guitar scratches, drums roll with a fighter's bounce. Then that voice, grit and glory in one throat, slides in and dares you to sit still. This is Sweat on Wax. It's a map of a block party where every corner has a story.
love make you wanna cry sometimes.
Pickett didn't invent swagger, but he made it ring out. This cover blasted the idea nationwide, proving that a neighborhood groove could own the charts. DJs still lean on it when a room needs wake-up energy. Bands still study it to learn how to be tight and wild at the same time. Street funk begins here for a lot of ears. It survives because attitude, when married to precision, never dies. Holding down number 9, I Second That Emotion, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, 1967.
But only for one night with no appeal.
Charm can be a weapon, and Smokey wields it with a smile. The title flips a common phrase into a nudge, and the melody floats like a note in a love letter. Guitars chime, tambourine twinkles, the bass tiptoes with a dancer's patience. Then Smokey's soft falsetto slides in and makes the edges round. Nothing sharp, nothing forced.
I'll be there whenever you want me.
It's a wink you hear. The craftsmanship is sneaky. The tune feels effortless because everyone did the hard work before the tape rolled. Tight harmonies, perfect entrances, zero clutter. That's why it still feels fresh. In a world of shouting, this one whispers and wins. Add it to any sunny playlist and watch the day lighten. By the way, if you're enjoying this ride, hit subscribe so you never miss a deep dive like this. Up ahead, the rules flip and the floor tilts toward funk. At 8, the rules flip. Cold Sweat. James Brown, 1967. This is not a song in the old sense. It's a system. James puts the weight on the first beat, the one, and everything else spins around it. Horns stab in short bursts. Guitar chops like a metronome with an attitude. The drummer locks into a pattern so tight it feels like a machine that can sweat. Brown doesn't croon, he commands. Call and response becomes architecture. It sounds stripped down, but it's more like a blueprint where every line matters. This record changed how bands think. It told musicians to trust space. It taught dancers to drop their weight and hit the ground harder. Modern funk, hip-hop, and even pop rhythm sections trace back to this switch. Cold Sweat endures because it's a foundation. Builders still use it. Listeners still feel that rush of control and release. Play it loud and you can hear a new spine grow in real time. At number 7, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, 1967.
Enough, baby.
If you need me, call me, no matter.
Two voices, one promise. The call and response makes it feel like love speaking in stereo. Strings lift, tambourine pushes. The band keeps things bright and moving, like morning light through a window. Marvin brings silk, Tammy brings spark. Together they sound fearless. The writing by Ashford and Simpson is tight and generous. Clear lines, no fat, and the arrangement gives every part a moment to shine without stepping on the others.
Although we are miles apart.
If you ever need a helping.
This is why it stays in hearts and movies and wedding playlists year after year. It's about devotion without drama, effort without strain. The chorus lands like sunrise after a long night. You hear it and believe that nothing in the way will stay in the way.
If I'm getting to you, babe, don't you know that there ain't no mountain high?
At 6, a sermon in stages. Try a Little Tenderness. Otis Redding, 1966-67 impact.
Oh, she may be weary.
The opening is gentle. Piano and strings like a hand on your shoulder. Then Otis starts to push. He doesn't rush the climb. He makes you feel every stair. The band adds heat piece by piece. Horns swell. Drums lean forward. The organ peeks out from behind the curtain. Then, near the end, Otis lets it all go. He moves from tender to urgent to volcanic, and somehow it never feels fake. That's the gift.
All you got to do.
He can plead without sounding weak, shout without losing pitch, and take an old standard and make it sound born in a southern church yesterday. The record's timeline crosses 1966 into 1967 for many listeners because radio and stages kept it alive, and his tragic passing at the end of that year froze this performance in bright light. It endures because it teaches dynamics you can feel in your ribs. Start soft, tell the truth, build the fire, then let it roar. Your number 5, Soul Man, Sam and Dave, 1967. The downbeat hits like a choir saying amen at once, and the horns throw confetti in the air. This is pride you can dance to. Stacks grit with Sunday energy. The rhythm section plants both feet and never budges. The call and response vocals sound like brothers trading lines in a kitchen before church, hyping each other up. Underneath the joy is a deeper pulse from the times. Strength, survival, identity. The writers tapped into headlines and hope, then wrapped it in a groove that felt like fresh paint on an old house. The result is a record that makes you taller. Bands still cover it because it works in every room. Small clubs, big festivals, family parties. It's an instant handshake between strangers. It lasts because the message and the motion match. Stand up, move forward, and bring your people with you. We don't just rise, we soar. In the number 4 slot, Your Love Keeps Lifting Me, Higher and Higher, Jackie Wilson, 1967. Imagine joy as a staircase, and each bar another step up. The bass line skips. Hand claps sparkle. The drums bounce on their toes. Then Jackie's voice climbs like a trumpet with lungs, bright and controlled. He sells happiness without turning it syrupy. The phrasing is crisp. The ad-libs feel like smiles. It's hard to record happy without sounding corny. This one nails it. You can put it on any morning and feel the room brighten. Dancers love it because the groove has lift but also grip. Singers study it because there's air on the notes and strength under the air. It endures because it's a clean bottle of sunshine you can open on tough days. Simple idea, flawless delivery.
And you know he never showed his face again.
Cracking the final 3 at 3, Bernadette, The Four Tops, 1967.
And when I speak of you, I see envy in other men's eyes. And
This is obsession turned into sound. The bass riff shakes the floor. The strings circle like warning lights. The drums pound straight lines. Then Levi Stubbs enters like a man arguing with his own heartbeat. He doesn't just sing the name, he wrestles with it. The track is built for that battle, tight and intense with no escape hatch. The Funk Brothers behind the scenes make it feel like one engine with many pistons. There are no wasted gestures. Every hit is a shove. It's still one of the fiercest lead vocals in soul, a lesson in how to push without bursting. People revisit it for the drama, for the gasp at the center, for the way it makes needs sound heroic and dangerous at once. It lasts because it captures a feeling most love songs avoid, the edge of control. Your runner-up is Cover Me, Percy Sledge, 1967. He sings like someone talking to one person in a dark room. Voice low, eyes wet, no lies left. The arrangement respects that intimacy. Organ pads glow like a night lamp. The guitar nudges, the drums sway, never chase. There's space around every phrase, which lets the pain breathe instead of shout. Percy was known for heartbreak, but this performance finds a new shade. Less famous than his biggest hit, yet just as devastating. He's not bargaining, he's asking for shelter, which makes the words hit harder. That is why the track sticks. It offers comfort and need at the same time. When it ends, you exhale. You might even start it again, because some nights require gentle company. And now, the cultural earthquake. As your one spotlight, Respect, Aretha Franklin, 1967.
What on earth am I doing up this early? What?
Context first. In a year wired with movement and change, Aretha walks into the studio and reshapes a good song into a standard. She flips the point of view, sharpens the edges, and turns an ask into a line in the sand. From the very first piano stab, the record stands upright. The band locks like a machine built to testify. Horns punch answers. Backing voices frame the message. The drum kit keeps the street under your feet. Aretha's phrasing is a miracle of control and fire. Every syllable placed, every push earned. It's fearless but never messy.